Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and today I'm going to do something that I never thought I would say that I'm going to do. I'm going to log into the Windows Store version of Dead by Daylight. Yes, you can buy the game on the Windows Store for PC, and in fact, if you are an Xbox Live Gold Pass user, you become an Xbox Live Gold Pass user for as little as $1. You can get the game on PC through the Windows Store for free, included with your, I think it's a first 3-month membership for an Xbox Live Pass for $1. So I did that, spent my $1, got my Xbox Live Gold Pass, and I am now logged in to Dead by Daylight on the Windows Store. And now you're asking probably, why am I doing this? Well, Arditha sent me a thing today. It was very confusing to both of us, so I decided to investigate it. And I'm going to show you what that is now. So let me just click on my game capture here. And we're going over here to Dead by Daylight. So now if we look, let me see, let me turn down this menu. Oh, loud. Okay, so now if we go in the store, let's see which characters are available. I'm brand new, zeros everywhere, I don't have anything. So if we go and look at what characters are available, there's someone missing from both sides of the board. If you don't notice who it is right away, it's Freddy. Freddy and Quentin Smith are both missing from the rosters on the Dead by Daylight Windows Store. And I don't know, did anybody notice this? I mean, there's only 12 reviews on the Windows Store for Dead by Daylight, so I don't think there are a lot of people playing it. And most of the reviews on there are just people complaining that their progress from Xbox didn't transfer over to Windows Store. But that's neither here nor there. So now I know Freddy isn't available on the Nintendo Switch because I own that. And we didn't even have Leatherface until last week. But now Leatherface is on the Switch, but we've never had Freddy. And so what does this mean? So, well, the thing that's interesting about this is, for those of you on console who've been on console for a while, you'll know that William Bill Overbeck was not a character that you could have on console for quite some time because his rights were owned by Steam and Valve, and they didn't really want to let his rights go over to consoles. Finally, they did. But previous to that, as you know, Bill has his own 3 unique perks with the Unbreakable, Borrowed Time, and Left Behind. So on console, they had placeholder perk logos for these perks because they didn't want to just completely exclude these perks from the game for console players. So they became public pool perks for the player base on console. And they had a different logo for Bill so that it didn't infringe on the likeness of Bill, the likeness rights that Steam and Valve would own. They had a different shaven man here for Unbreakable, and then I believe they just used Mag for Left Behind. Anyway, they had different perks. And now we're finding out, thanks to Arditha, that the same thing exists on Windows Store for the public perks. For Freddy, the perks for Freddy and Quentin have been put into the public pool. So I want to see what they look like. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go into the custom game, and we're going to add the perks, because custom game, you have all the perks available to you. So we're going to add, thank you, Wraith has those 3 perks, that's not what I'm interested in. So we're going to look up Freddy's perks. So if I go on somebody else, yes, see it says here, very rare Trapper perk for Agitation. But on Blood Warden, it doesn't say that that perk is associated with Freddy at all. Just says it's a very rare perk. So now we're going to find Freddy's 2 other perks, because I think this is going to be interesting to you. I could be wrong. We're going to look for Remember Me. So check out that logo for Remember Me. That's not what we're used to, is it? Remember Me is traditionally Freddy's clawed hand. But since they don't have the license to put Freddy on Windows Store, they've changed this logo to look like this for Remember Me. This is the one that Arditha came to me with. Arditha said, "What is this Remember Me logo?" And I was like, "What?" And then he told me, look at the little world beside the player that he played with on crossplay, which told us that that person was playing on Windows Store. So then I had to just find out what all these perks look like. And so now then, Freddy's 3rd perk is Fire Up. So we might have to blow this one up. But it doesn't look like a man in a fedora anymore, does it? So it looks like they've taken the fedora off of Freddy here. I don't know. We'll have to blow it up and compare them side by side to see. But I think for sure the Freddy glove, they've changed this one on Remember Me, and probably this one on Fire Up. The Blood Warden doesn't look any different to me because that isn't necessarily associated with Freddy. Now let's go over and look at Quentin. So we're going to switch to Survivor. We don't have Quentin to play as, but we have his perks here. So let's see what he's got. So we're going to look for Vigil. Does that look any different? Gonna have to blow that up to see that Vigil has been changed at all. The Wake Up, yeah, the Wake Up's not gonna be any different. And then the other one would be Pharmacy, which I can't imagine that one's any different either. So possibly the Vigil is different. I'm gonna have to blow it up and look. But yeah, the Pharmacy. And again, they don't say these are Quentin Smith perks, just they're generic. So they just put into the public pool for everyone to have. So here's an interesting note. I didn't think that this was the same situation on Nintendo Switch, but apparently it is, because I just had my son boot up the Switch and we went into the custom game mode, and sure enough, he was able to log onto his Trapper in a custom match and put Freddy's 3 perks on the Trapper, and on Survivor, all of Quentin's 3 perks were there available as well. However, apparently they aren't public pool perks, because my son has every perk that he can possibly have on his Dwight, but he doesn't have Vigil, Wake Up, or Pharmacy. So if they're not public pool perks, what are they doing with them? Are they in the Shrine on Windows Store and on Nintendo Switch? Is that the only way you can get them, is through the Shrine right now? I don't really understand, because obviously from this graphic that Arditha gave me, we see somebody here who is playing Killer on the Windows Store version of the game, and they have Remember Me. So how did they get that? Is it only in public pool on the Windows Store, but not on the Nintendo Switch? Because my son has all of the perks on his Dwight, but not those. So they aren't being offered to him on his Bloodwebs. It's very confusing. So now why would this be? Why would they need to take this extra step to change these perks? Why can't they just put Freddy on the Windows Store? What is the big deal? Well, recently, the Wes Craven estate regained the rights to the character of Freddy Krueger. Wes Craven was the filmmaker for Nightmare on Elm Street, and his estate has since reclaimed those rights to the character in the United States. The movie company still owns the rights to Freddy Krueger internationally. So now we have Dead by Daylight as this game that is played globally, but now there are 2 license rights holders to the characters portrayed in these films. The Wes Craven's estate owns the rights to Freddy in the US of A. The film company owns them internationally. How do you negotiate this? This is sort of like a Jason Friday the 13th situation. So this is our stumbling block, preventing us from getting a face rework for Quentin, new cosmetics of any kind for Quentin. You see, we had a whole slew of licensed characters get winter ugly holiday sweaters, and Quentin wasn't one of them. Quentin and Laurie are the only ones, the outliers in that regard. We haven't gotten any new cosmetics for Freddy. It was already difficult to negotiate new cosmetics for this chapter, in my opinion, and it just got that much more complicated now that you have 2 parties that honestly need to come together with their shared interest and agree on how they are going to move forward to make money, the Wes Craven estate and the movie company together on the Freddy Krueger franchise. But as it stands right now, the water is so murky with these 2 companies who have shared likeness rights in different parts of the world to the Freddy Krueger franchise. So we'll see where this goes from here. Will they get it sorted out? Hey, I'm sure it's another thing on Matthew Cote's impossible bucket list to check off. In devs we trust, but as it stands right now, you cannot play Freddy on the Nintendo Switch and Windows PC. Will that change soon? Who knows? Anyway, I thought you'd find that interesting that they have these logo changes, because I certainly had never seen them before until today. Maybe you all know about it already. This brings up another question about the crossplay aspect. We have crossplay between Windows Store PC players and Steam players, and none of the Windows Store PC players would have ever seen Freddy, because that's no information about the character at all on your game. and then you're going into crossplay with the Steam players and just running up against Freddy and go, oh, I guess that's a thing. Or you see Quentin Smith in the fog and you're like, who's this guy? I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal because I think most of the people who are playing on Windows Store PC have that background with Xbox or have seen the game in some other format, so they're familiar with the characters. But it's just kind of weird that you would enter the fog and see characters that you've never seen before and go, what's going on? But I don't think it happens a lot because I do believe the Windows Store PC population of players to be quite small. I could be wrong about that, but I thought that was kind of funny that you would just go into a match and go, hey, who's this guy? Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of each other out there in the fog. Poor Quentin. Well, guess he's freed from the nightmare now.